Have you ever stopped to think about how much of our world is captured, analyzed, and, well, enhanced by digital images? It's truly ubiquitous. I mean, from the doctor's office diagnosing an illness with incredible precision to the factory floor where quality control is literally built pixel by pixel, digital imaging is this kind of invisible yet indispensable force behind so many modern marvels. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the global digital imaging system market. Our mission for you, our curious listener, is to quickly unpack the market's current size, its projected growth, and, the key regions and applications that are truly driving this fascinating, rapidly evolving industry. We're pulling insights directly from the Global Digital Imaging Market Forecast of 2033 from Cognitive Market Research. Prepare to uncover not just the sheer scale of this market, but the fascinating shifts in its power dynamics, where established giants are continually innovating, and maybe some unexpected regions are rapidly becoming the new frontiers of digital imaging. Okay, let's unpack this with some fascinating numbers to set the stage. The overall trajectory for digital imaging systems globally is, well, it's nothing short of impressive. Could you walk us through the headline figures?
Absolutely. The data from the report paints a very clear picture of robust growth. In 2021, this global market already commanded a pretty substantial $24.69 billion.
Wow, okay.
But that was truly just the beginning. Projections show it's set to hit a solid $30.54 billion by 2025. And then, get this, it's expected to soar to nearly $46.74 billion by the year 2033.
46 billion, that's
It
huge.
really is. That reflects a steady compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 5.46% over that period. What this means in plain English is that this market is on track to, well, almost double its value in just 12 years, underscoring its essential and expanding role across really countless sectors.
Wow, almost doubling in just over a decade. That's
Yeah.
incredible. But what's truly driving this, consistent, significant expansion? It can't just be one factor, right?
You're absolutely right. What's fascinating here is not just the sheer size of these figures, but why this consistent and significant growth is happening across the board.
Yeah.
The report points to several core drivers. Firstly, we have continuous and, frankly, rapid technological advancements. Think about the improvements in sensor technology, much more sensitive, capturing more detail coupled with vastly increased processing power. And even the integration of artificial intelligence that allows imaging systems to be more precise, faster, more intelligent. They can now sort of see and interpret in ways that were science fiction just years ago.
Right, AI is everywhere now.
Exactly. Secondly, there's the increased adoption in healthcare, which is just a massive and ever-growing area. Digital imaging is absolutely critical for diagnostics, allowing doctors to spot issues earlier,
Mhm.
for treatment planning, guiding complex procedures, and for monitoring patient progress with really unprecedented clarity. We're talking everything from advanced MRI and CT scans giving detailed internal views to specialized surgical imaging that guides robots during delicate operations.
Okay, so healthcare is a big one. What else?
Then we see significant demand from industrial inspection. This is where digital imaging ensures rigorous quality control on production lines, detecting minute flaws, maintaining standards at speeds and scales impossible for the human eye.
Right, like checking microchips.
Precisely. Think of how it checks every single microchip for imperfections, or ensures the structural integrity of, say, every bolt on an airplane wing without a human ever having to physically inspect each one. And finally, precision manufacturing applications are heavily reliant on these systems for pinpoint accuracy, detailed measurements, and automated assembly processes. This is where digital imaging guides robotics to place components with, like, sub-millimeter precision, critical for everything from advanced medical devices to next-gen electronics.
That really clarifies the foundational drivers. It seems like a powerful convergence of factors pushing this growth. But how do these drivers manifest differently across regions, do you think? It's not just about bigger numbers, it's about maybe deeper integration and adapting to local needs.
Exactly. While the drivers are universal, their impact and the pace of adoption certainly vary regionally, and that leads to some really interesting market dynamics.
So with those global figures in mind, let's zoom in on where these systems are making the biggest splash. Unsurprisingly, North America continues to dominate. Could you break down for us just how significant its hold on the market is and what kind of growth we're seeing there,
Yeah.
especially within the U.S. and Canada?
Absolutely. North America's market truly is a titan. It's projected to climb from a substantial $9.7 billion back in 2021 to a colossal $17.24 billion by 2033. That shows a strong CAGR of 4.93%.
Okay, nearly 5% growth. Still strong.
Very strong. And within that, the United States accounts for, well, the lion's share, moving from $6.55 billion to over $11.1 billion.
11 billion just for the US.
Yeah. Canada also shows strong momentum, growing from $2.3 billion to a healthy $4.32 billion. This isn't just steady growth, it's a reflection of continuous, heavy investment in modernizing existing infrastructure, particularly in healthcare and advanced manufacturing and, a quick adoption of cutting-edge technologies.
Those are impressive figures for such established markets. But I noticed something particularly interesting in the report about Mexico within this region. It seems to be showing an even faster growth rate.
Right.
Which feels somewhat unexpected amidst these developed giants. What's driving that?
That's where it gets really interesting if you look closely at the numbers. While the U.S. and Canada are indeed huge, Mexico is projected to expand at an even faster pace, with a 6.54% CAGR.
Wow, higher than the regional average.
Exactly. That means its market is almost doubling to $1.81 billion within this period. This is significant because it indicates, well, likely a rapid industrialization and modernization push, especially in sectors like automotive manufacturing and potentially even healthcare infrastructure, where digital imaging can offer efficiency and quality improvements that are being adopted at an accelerated rate compared to, say, a mature market that's maybe already saturated.
Right, like a leapfrog effect.
Precisely. It's a leapfrog effect in action.
That makes perfect sense. The opportunity for rapid implementation in emerging industrial bases. And shifting gears, how does Europe, another economic powerhouse, compare in terms of market trajectory?
Europe also demonstrates an incredibly strong performance. Sales revenue there is expected to rise from $6.91 billion in 2021 to $12.57 billion by 2033, driven by a solid 5.12% annual growth, so very respectable.
Okay, similar pace to North America overall.
Pretty close, yeah. The leading countries in this growth story include the United Kingdom, scaling up from $1.36 billion to $2.77 billion, and Germany expanding from $1.27 billion to $2.46 billion.
Germany is no surprise with Industry 4.0.
Exactly. Germany's robust expansion isn't surprising given its strong Industry 4.0 initiatives and that deep-rooted manufacturing base, which inherently drives demand for advanced inspection and automation. France also makes notable progress, while Italy and Spain, though growing, let's say, more moderate expansion, each hovering around a 3.5% CAGR. We also shouldn't overlook the steady contributions from countries like Sweden, Denmark, and Switzerland, and the resilience of the rest of Europe category, which is projected to reach nearly $1.68 billion by 2033.
So what this tells us is that while North America and Europe are clearly fortifying their established leads through consistent modernization, continuous innovation, and existing robust infrastructure, there's also this dynamic, accelerated growth bubbling up from unexpected corners within these mature landscapes, like Mexico. Now, if North America and Europe are the steady giants, then let me introduce you to what the report identifies as the growth powerhouse, the Asia-Pacific region. This is where the acceleration truly seems to kick in. Could you shed some light on the sheer scale of expansion we're talking about here?
Indeed, the Asia-Pacific market is set to, explode, growing from $4.99 billion in 2021 to a forecasted $10.84 billion by 2033.
Wow, more than doubling.
Absolutely. This phenomenal expansion is supported by a robust 6.65% CAGR, which, as you pointed out, significantly outpaces the growth rates we just discussed for North America and Europe. This region is truly where the dynamism lies.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, APAC truly stands out. Let's drill down into some key players here. China's numbers are always huge, but India's trajectory is truly eye-opening. What specific factors do you think are most effectively fueling India's rapid acceleration, particularly that astonishing 8.4% CAGR?
India's growth is truly exceptional, not just in speed, but in its potential to redefine the market, I think. That 8.4% CAGR jumping from $538 million to $1.42 billion by 2033, it suggests a significant leapfrog effect.
Right, again with the leapfrogging.
Exactly. Instead of incrementally upgrading existing, older technologies, many regions and industries in India might be adopting the latest digital imaging technologies right from the ground up. This isn't just about catching up. It's about potentially leading to highly innovative, context-specific applications.
Like what, for example?
Well, we could see perhaps a massive expansion in remote healthcare diagnostics through portable digital imaging devices. Or maybe hyper-efficient manufacturing processes in new industrial zones, uniquely tailored for India's scale and needs, things we wouldn't necessarily see in more established
That's
markets.
interesting. And China.
Yeah.
Still massive growth there, too.
Oh, absolutely. China, for its part, is also projected to more than double its market size, hitting an impressive $4.37 billion, propelled by a blistering 7.37% growth rate, driven by its massive manufacturing base and rapidly expanding healthcare sector.
Right.
Beyond these two giants, countries like Japan, South Korea, Australia, and the broader Southeast Asia region are also significant contributors, solidifying APAC's position as the undisputed hub of expansion.
Absolutely. That's the million-dollar question. This raises a critical point. What are the broader implications of such rapid growth in developing economies like India, not just for their own markets, but for global innovation and competition in digital imaging? Are we looking at new players, new approaches, or entirely new markets emerging that could even challenge the established norms?
That's precisely what makes this so compelling. When you have growth at this pace, especially in economies with unique needs and challenges, it's almost a given that new players and innovative approaches will emerge.
Hmm.
Imagine innovations not just in high-end medical imaging for major urban hospitals, but in developing, say, robust, affordable, and portable digital imaging solutions specifically for remote clinics or for small to medium enterprises across vast rural
And
areas.
democratizing the tech.
Exactly. This could democratize access to advanced imaging technologies on a scale we haven't seen before and create a completely different competitive landscape globally. One that's focused perhaps more on adaptability, cost effectiveness, and ease of deployment, rather than just raw power or resolution that might be geared towards more specialized, high budget applications. It could fundamentally reshape what cutting edge means in different contexts.
Fascinating. So we've covered the titans and the powerhouses. Now, shifting our focus, we'll move to other regions, demonstrating just how truly global the reach of digital imaging technology has become. What's the outlook for South America?
South America is certainly poised for considerable growth. It's projected to expand from $1.4 billion in 2021 to a significant $2.75 billion by 2033.
Okay, nearly doubling as well.
Yeah. Within this region, Brazil is leading the charge, expected to reach $1.26 billion by 2033, driven by its large economy and increasing investment in healthcare and infrastructure. And it's worth keeping an eye on Colombia, which is showing impressive momentum with a 7.18% CAGR, almost doubling its market within the same period.
Colombia at over 7%. Interesting.
Yeah, this rapid growth in Colombia likely stems from ongoing modernization efforts and new investments in its industrial and medical sectors, where digital imaging offers clear efficiency gains.
And what about the Middle East? A region often characterized by rapid development and high-tech aspirations.
The Middle East market is also progressing robustly, moving from $963 million to nearly $1.96 billion by 2033, which represents a solid 6.1% CAGR, so good, steady growth.
Right.
Saudi Arabia is taking the lead here, expanding its market from $387 million to $849 million. This growth is a clear indicator of the region's ambitious economic diversification plans, significant investments in new infrastructure, developing smart cities, all of which heavily rely on advanced digital imaging for everything from security and surveillance to construction monitoring and healthcare.
Makes sense.
It's also worth noting that the UAE and Turkey both demonstrate strong, above-average growth rates within this region, indicating similar investment and adoption patterns.
Finally, let's turn our attention to Africa. What's the story there regarding digital imaging systems?
Africa continues its steady climb. The market there is moving from $716 million in 2021 to $1.35 billion by 2033.
Okay, slower growth, but still nearly doubling.
Exactly. Nigeria is a key player in this growth, expanding at a 5.43% CAGR, similar to the global average. And the rest of Africa segment is also growing, projected to expand past $497 million by 2033. This highlights the region's considerable potential, often driven by the increasing need for basic healthcare infrastructure and the adoption of mobile-first technologies, where digital imaging can play a crucial role in remote diagnostics and data capture. Even while acknowledging the unique developmental challenges it faces, it's about building that foundational capacity.
So it's clear that while these markets are currently smaller in absolute terms, their growth rates are very compelling, signaling significant future potential. What does this all mean for technological adoption and capacity building in these diverse and rapidly developing parts of the world? Are we seeing bespoke solutions emerge to fit specific local contexts, or is it primarily a broader application of existing, well-established technologies?
That's a critical question. In these regions, we often see a fascinating mix. On one hand, there's certainly the application of existing proven technologies because they represent reliable advancements for developing infrastructure.
Sure.
However, the strong growth rates also signal an imperative for bespoke solutions. For instance, in Africa, the need for robust, low-power, maybe portable digital imaging devices for remote clinics or even agricultural use is immense.
Right, things that work off-grid, maybe.
Potentially, yes. This isn't just about importing high-end hospital equipment, it's about innovating for specific logistical and economic constraints. Similarly, in the Middle East, where massive new urban developments are springing up, digital imaging solutions are being integrated right at the design stage. For smart infrastructure, security, complex construction monitoring, often pushing the boundaries of what's available commercially. So it's not just adoption, it's also adaptation and innovation tailored to unique regional demands and opportunities. If we connect this to the bigger picture, what we're witnessing isn't just market expansion, it's really a foundational shift in how industries operate and how societies approach critical functions. The report confirms the overall market is on a solid upward trajectory, advancing from that $24.7 billion to nearly $47 billion within 12 years.
Quite a leap.
It is. This growth is indeed universal, driven by critical needs in healthcare, industry, and manufacturing. However, the data clearly shows us this kind of bifurcated market. Established players like North America and Europe driving innovation through refinement and deeper integration, while the sheer demand and adaptable technological adoption and growth powerhouses like Asia-Pacific, particularly China and India, are poised to become the true engines of novel applications and accessibility, potentially even shaping global standards for how digital imaging is deployed and utilized down the line.
Absolutely. We've seen the sheer scale of the global market, the steady giants that continue to innovate, and the incredible growth powerhouses that are rapidly reshaping the landscape. It's clear digital imaging is far from its peak. It's embedding itself deeper into our global infrastructure and future in ways that will only accelerate.
And that leads us to a final, maybe provocative thought for you, our listener. As digital imaging systems become even more sophisticated, more integrated into new sectors, driven by these tech advancements and increased adoption, what completely new applications might emerge from this accelerated growth in places like India or Mexico that we can't even fully predict today? Think about how those local innovations, born out of specific needs in dynamic growth environments, could fundamentally change how we interact with technology, or even our very perception of reality globally. The possibilities truly are, well, limitless.
What a journey. That was your deep dive into the global digital imaging system market. We hope you feel a little more well-informed and perhaps a lot more curious about the world of digital imaging and its incredible future.